And who better to set us right about what's wrong with race in America than Bill O'Reilly, somebody who obviously understands it, right?
But do you understand what the New York Times wants and the far left want? They want to break down the white Christian male power structure, of which you're a part, and so am I. And they want to bring in millions of foreign nationals to basically break down the structure that we have. In that regard, Pat Buchanan is right. So I say that you've got to cap it with a number.
In America.
So what Bill O'Reilly, he's talking about immigration. He's talking about immigration, that they want to bring in Mexicans to break down the white.
I thought cap it meant shooting someone.
Oh, no. You got to cap it. You got to cap the number of people. He's talking to John McCain, and he's saying you got to cap the number of people that you're allowed to come in here, or else they're going to screw up our white Christian.
Well, yeah, that is the whole argument that Pat Buchanan has been making for years and made in his recent book, is that the fact that our society is becoming more multicultural all the time is going to hurt our society, because it's not going to be eventually.
Yes.
White people are not going to be in the majority anymore, and that has to be prevented at all costs.
Yes, we have to keep our majority. We have to keep the white male Christian patriarch.
And Bill O'Reilly is blatantly saying that in that clip. Yeah,
he just said it.
Because these guys know how badly minorities get treated. They don't want it to happen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone hates minorities.
Well, and here's another good example of Bill O'Reilly having a good grasp understanding of race relations in America. Here he is giving a speech to the Black Action Network a couple years ago. Okay, and first of all, I just want to remind everybody before I play this clip that racism is over in America. We all know that, and we proved it by electing an African socialist who hates America. That's how you proved it. And, okay, so here's what Bill O'Reilly had to say in front of the Black Action Network.
It's a much more interesting country, America, if we stop with the race business, I think.
And by more interesting, he means still racist, but no longer feeling guilty about it.
Right,
okay?
right.
It's a good feeling.
So that's what he means. Okay.
It's a much more interesting country, America, if we stop with the race business, I think. I mean, I'm not black, so I don't know your struggle. And you don't know my struggle, all right, because you're not white. But I have to...
You don't know how hard it is when you're white.
You know what it's like to be stuck in escrow over the summer? Do you know how hard it is to find a Brooks Brothers on Long Island on a Sunday? Come on. Do you know the kind of problems
You
Bill
know how hard it is for a big celebrity like me to cheat on his wife without getting sued?
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to have to pay off at least 3 or 4 people.
I don't know what it's like to have my nose pressed to the window, and you don't know what it's like to have to stuff yourself with candy inside the store.
Okay.
All right, because you're not white. But after 9/11, we pretty much dropped that race stuff, did we not? We pretty much were all Americans there, right?
Hooray.
All right. I hear yes, I hear no.
No, you hear no. You hear no.
You hear no yeses. No yeses at all.
They don't know Bill O'Reilly's struggle. Bill O'Reilly has to live in a country that's 12% black. Okay? Talk about that kind of a struggle.
That's got to hurt.
And now 0.01% Muslim.
Yeah. After 9/11, we dropped that racism stuff. We went after our real enemies, the towel heads. Yeah. That's right. We're done with that. And it's a more interesting country now because there's nothing more boring than people demanding justice without any money to pay for it.
They're broke, these people.
Ugh. Boo all you want. The Supreme Court's going to abolish affirmative action. That's all he has to say.
5-4.
And by the way, he loves Louis Armstrong, too. He forgot to add that.
You're Louis Armstrong.
There can't be any more racism in America, or else Bill wouldn't be dignifying all you people just by being there. So that's
how could I be racist if I paid for a ticket to see Electric Boogaloo?
So Bill O'Reilly is upset that the liberal media is exploiting this Trayvon Martin case. That's what he's upset, that they're using this to exploit, even though nobody would know about this case if they didn't make a big deal out of it, and there still hasn't been an arrest. So no matter how much they're screaming, this guy still can't get arrested for killing someone in cold blood. So Bill O'Reilly, though, no stranger to exploiting someone else's tragedy to further race bait. Ready?
Now, I just want to get this straight.
So I don't know if you remember, there was a case of a white girl who was killed by a Mexican drunk driver, and the Mexican was an illegal immigrant. Now, Bill thought this was a perfect time to demonize illegal immigrants as if they're all drunks. And he had Geraldo on to point out to him that, no, it doesn't matter what if the guy's Mexican, Russian, Italian, Polish. The fact that it's drunk driving is bad. right? But Bill misses that point.
You, Geraldo Rivera, with teenage daughters, are telling me that you are okay with somebody sneaking into the country, becoming drunk, get convicted of a DUI, and staying here. You're all right
my
with that.
nightmare is my daughters having anything to do with a drunk. Let me finish my answer. My nightmare is my daughters having anything to do with a person driving drunk. That's my nightmare.
Okay.
It could be a Jewish drunk.
This
it could be
guy
a
didn't have
Polish
to be
drunk.
here.
It could be an Irish drunk.
No.
It could be an Italian drunk.
American
what the
crime.
hell difference does it make?
It makes plenty of difference.
It does not.
He doesn't have a right to be
He commit
here.
a felony.
He doesn't have a right to be in this country.
What? But that has nothing to do with the
Yes,
fact that he
it
was
does.
a drunk.
He should have been deported.
He
should have been deported, and this mayor and the police chief didn't deport him.
Listen, do you know how many people we have in jail? How many of them are illegal aliens? Illegal aliens commit crimes at a lower rate than citizens do.
This guy shouldn't have been
Cool
here.
your jets. That has nothing to do with illegal aliens. It has to do with drunk driving.
doesn't.
Don't obscure
He
a
should have been
tragedy to
deported.
make a cheap political
If
point.
I'm the father.
It's a cheap political
No,
point.
it isn't.
And you know
this
it.
is justice.
This has nothing to do
you
with that
want
poor old lady
anarchy.
mayor.
You
It has
want
nothing to do with that mayor.
You want anarchy.
No, what
you
I
want
want-
open border anarchy.
What I want is fairness. We have lured
Fairness,
these people.
bull.
We have lured these.
This is the
we
law.
have lured these people
Oh,
to this
yeah.
country with a promise
Nobody
of
is-
jobs
this-
in a country where there is basically full domestic employment.
All right.
We have for decades lured them here,
This
and now we're
family-
starting a mob scene.
This family
you
lured no
want
one.
your viewers to go knocking on people's door to
No,
door.
bull,
Are you
that's
an
bull.
illegal? I'm going to take you outside and do
I
something
want the
to you.
law enforced.
History has seen what happens when you
I want
single out
the
people
law
like that.
enforced,
But
and
then
you don't.
Bill,
You
half
don't.
of Congress, if they had the courage, the President of the United States, if you look at what he has to say, all want reasoned immigration reform.
Then
but to
do
take
that.
this tragedy in Virginia Beach and make it about illegal aliens
It
is a
is.
sin. That's a sin.
Bull.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Why can't Fox News be like that more often?
There's a
Why can't Geraldo be like that more often?
Yeah.
And then Geraldo, just a couple of years later, told black kids that that's their fault for wearing hoodies.
Yeah.
So
Right.
consistency, not the strong
And
point.
also, I
Geraldo.
love how Bill says I'm interested in justice, and he doesn't seem to be interested in it. In
Doesn't
the,
say, it's
Zimmerman
amazing
case.
how he in this case is doing exactly the thing he's accusing the liberal media of doing.
Right.
He's using someone's personal tragedy to try to stir up mob justice and pointing a finger at somebody. And Geraldo Rivera says you're doing this just to make a cheap political point. This has nothing to do with illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants don't drink and drive at any higher rate than citizens do or anybody. You're just trying to demonize them because they're
Right.
not from this. And that's exactly what he was doing.
I would disagree with that slightly. I think you can't ignore the fact that this person who got in here illegally, if they hadn't got in here illegally, that woman would be alive. You can't ignore that.
Yeah,
You can't ignore that.
That
but you
is
can't blame
an
her.
inconsequential fact. That's
I don't think it's
that is
inconsequential.
saying that if we
I don't
just-
think it's
you're
the dominant fact.
You're
of it.
saying that if we just get rid of illegal immigrants, we wouldn't have drunk driving.
No, I'm saying you can't ignore the fact that that person came here illegally. It factors
So you're
into it,
saying-
but it's not the
so you're-
predominant thing that needs to
But
be looked at.
even though illegal immigrants commit crimes at a lower rate than citizens, so what you're doing is you're embracing a fact that distorts the issue. You're saying that's an important fact, even though it distorts
I'm
the
not
issue.
embracing the fact. I'm saying it can't be completely ignored.
It can be completely ignored. It has
I
nothing to do with the
disagree.
case. Has nothing to. Did that guy drink and drive because he was an illegal immigrant?
No,
So then, what does it have to do with the case?
because illegal immigrants do affect this country. They affect it in a positive way, and they affect
By
it
committing
in a
crimes at a lower
negative
rate.
way.
By committing crimes at a lower rate than citizens.
They affect it in a positive way and in a negative way. And if you're going to look at the positive, you also have to look at the negative.
But
That's all I'm saying.
the negative is what? That they drink and drive at a higher rate than
That they do the same crimes that we do.
They don't though. They commit them at a lower rate though.
But they do the same crimes that we do.
But that statistic. But when you promote that statistic, you are distorting the issue.
I'm not promoting
But
promoting that statistic. I'm just saying it shouldn't be completely ignored.
But okay.
I think you can factor in him being an illegal alien in the same sense that you can factor in a number of factors in drunk driving. In other words, the fact that
Economic pressure,
that alcohol is a drug and yet it's legal, that there's commercials on TV
Right.
that encourages. There's all kinds of
right. And so
of things that you can work into the fact that the reason this person was driving drunk on a night and killed someone, what led to that there's a million things, and one of them is the fact that he was in this country.
Yes,
and you say and for Bill O'Reilly to make the point that to inflame people's emotions by saying, "Look, we have a dead girl because of illegal immigration."
That's wrong.
That's okay. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely,
that's right.
Absolutely
that's
wrong.
what he's doing.
Yes, I think a even bigger point than the fact that this guy was an illegal immigrant is the fact that people are ignorant about what alcoholism is and how to treat it.
Oh, okay. Good point.